The deal didn't fail. My partners did. But here's the crazy part. That ended up being the best thing that could have happened because, and today I'm going to tell you how that deal that almost died turned into 3 amazing opportunities that could potentially be life-changing for most, and why sometimes, probably all the times, persistence is your greatest business partner. My name's Aaron Lambert, and this is me going live for 30 days straight to show you all the ins and outs of my business, what I'm doing, what I'm working on, the good, the bad, the ugly, and sometimes the uglier. Hopefully, the things that I tell you could help you make money and help you not lose money. Because I've lost a lot of money in the past. Fortunately, I've never lost any investor funds, only my own. Yeah, need to learn how to keep my own. But anyways, previously, if you've enjoyed watching any of these lives, please subscribe, do what you got to do down there to make it happen for yourself so you can get some more of this action. Bam. But on a previous episode, I shared how we were buying a community, or not a community living, it's a co-living group home for Alzheimer's, 10 beds here in Vegas. Well, I got into contract. Somebody brought me this deal. Great looking deal. Hey, I got a group home. They're selling it and the seller's going in foreclosure. Boom, that's perfect, right? Why is that perfect? Because I do creative finance and we buy properties that are going into foreclosure. So what is a group home and what is a group home that curtails to Alzheimer's? Well, it's a kind of like a medical facility. It can only have 10 people. And they have staff there that take care of people that have Alzheimer's, memory care, some sort of memory issues, right? And these tenants, clients, patients, they pay a substantial amount of money each month to stay there because they're fed, they're bathed, they're taken care of, they're, all of the above, and they're watched after. So, if y'all know anything about memory problems and Alzheimer's, that's pretty serious, right? It's like one day you're here, one day you're not, and that could happen minute by minute. So, it's great that these facilities exist. And then it's great that there's operators and investors that buy these that actually care. I've seen some situations where there's been some poorly ran establishments. I think they're cracking down on that. They've got a lot of regulations now, a lot of checkpoints, a lot of stuff that you have to pass in order to own one of these and operate one of these. So anyways, I got this property under contract for $1.2 million. The property itself is only worth about $950. Okay. So we got into contract, and day one I asked for, of course, I'm buying a business. I need to see the financials of the business. I need to see what you're worth. So I got some basic information after I put it under contract and secured my EMD with $10,000. I then called some partners that I knew that were interested in buying these types of facilities. I said, hey, this is what it is. This is the numbers off the rip. And they were like, okay, great. Let's get some more information. So we started digging a little deeper. We asked for certified financials. Now, what is certified financials? You do your taxes at the end of the year. You get your books certified by a CPA, the guy that's sending them into the IRS saying, hey, I put my stamp of approval on these financials. This is what it is. So they, to our benefit, the seller was like, you know what? I haven't filed my taxes in a couple of years, so I can't give you certified financials. We're like, okay, cool. No worries. How about just put us on the phone with your CPA? He wouldn't do that either. He did agree to it, but he didn't, right? So anyways, so we negotiate this deal, negotiate into a really good spot, right? We're buying it at a certain number, and we have a seller finance kind of pay in the future on the business. We're doing that because we cannot verify the financials, right? It's not that we don't want to pay the price. It's that we can't verify what he's telling us. So if you're buying a business and you can't no bank is going to give you numbers off of, but this is what I made, right? You have to show proof. Banks are not going to give you money to buy a business if you can't show actual certified proof that your money is your business is making this money. So for us to get financing on this type of business could only come after we've owned it and got our own certification or certified books. So anyways, the title of this show is the deal didn't fail, my partners did. So my partners, not being in creative or not being in group homes or memory cares or anything of that nature, nothing medical, they were a little kind of skittish, right? And with not having the financials, and they're just like, okay, they're just kind of weighing the risk. Well, we went like a month down the road and they said, you know what, Aaron, this looks like it could be a great deal, but we can't verify this and we don't know about this. And we're over here on the East Coast. So we're going to have to back out. I'm like, all right. So I'm like, okay, no worries. Well, I could have just canceled the contract and said, I can't do it, right? I'm not going to close on it myself. I don't have the partner, don't have the funds, whatever. Well, I didn't do that. I got an extension on the closing date. And then I remembered, I believe the Lord probably put it on my brain, that I had some people here in town that I know pretty well, have known for a couple years now, that called me a few months back, probably like 5 months back, and said, Aaron, I'm buying medical facilities. I'm in the medical field. I'm a nurse and I do this, and we're trying to do group homes and we're trying to get these, and we got one of these over here. And it's like, okay, so you already got a group home. You're in the medical field already, and this is what you're actively trying to purchase. Well, my partners backed out on me. So I said, all right, so Ring, come here. Hey, I got this. Showed them all the numbers. They're like, dude, this is a deal. Let's go. So we started moving forward. You know, we're still waiting on the seller to bring the due diligence packet. And we got on the call with the agent and the attorney yesterday. And sure enough, I'm sorry, Mr. Agent, if you're listening to me, but there has been some serious withhold of information from me to the attorney, because we told the attorney on the phone exactly what we've been telling the agent for the past month about the due diligence. And apparently that stuff hadn't been passed on. So we finally are getting our due diligence packet. We got our contract all secured and dialed in. But the greatest thing happened. One of the agents that's working on this calls me and says, Aaron, I got a seller. She's got these other 2 group home memory cares. I said, what? She's like, yeah, it's like a 10-bed and a 6-bed. And she's getting up there in age and she just wants to sell. It's a mom and pop operation. I'm like, okay. Well, now today we're going to have our second conversation with the owner of these 2 other group homes, 16 beds, which when it's operating at full capacity, we'll be bringing in roughly $64,000 in gross income. Now, that's gross, guys. Don't get super excited. But, even with a 50 or 60% expense, that's a nice little payday at the end of the month, every month. But so we're going to look. We've already walked the properties. They need some work. So this is going to be another creative transaction. But the point about this entire kind of episode is the persistence, that me not giving up, and you as an investor, anybody out there, not giving up when you have a deal and let's say a partner or whatever happens, right? There's always a path to success if the numbers make sense. The numbers make stupid sense on these projects. So my one failed partner now turned into a new partnership that now has possibly going to turn into 3 total opportunities with a net cash flow of roughly $60,000 a month across all 3 properties. And there's room to go up. So we're super excited about this. On another live, I'm going to be sharing the actual, when I get them under contract, I'm going to be sharing these other 2 properties that we have. Fortunately, they're actually in the same neighborhood, like literally 2 houses down from each other. Not 2, but a little bit more. But you get what I'm saying. They're in the same neighborhood, so it works out perfectly. And it's right down the street from another house that I own that's independent living. So these properties are in bad shape. So we are going to buy them cash at a discount. fix them up, refinance them, pull out some equity to pay off the seller, because the business itself is going to be a seller finance business transaction, just like my previous one. The way the numbers are going to work out like this. We're going to buy these two properties for a total of $1.1 million. We're going to give the seller upfront $600,000. That's going to come in the form of a hard money loan. We are not pulling out $600,000 out of pocket, because frankly, I don't have $600,000, nor would I give it to somebody if I did. So we're going to borrow $600,000. We have to bring to the table $65,000 each, $130,000 we got to bring to the table to get ourselves $600,000 loan plus rehab money. Then we're going to go put this rehab money in the property. Then we're going to refinance the property at $1 million. So we bought it at 300 each, 600, and we're going to refi at 500 each. That's $1 million. And with some of that refi money, we're going to pay back. We're going to pay some to our investors, pay back some of our investor money, right? The original 130, you're going to pay them back. So now we own these properties pretty much free and clear. Now we have the seller finance note. We're going to seller finance this crap out of this thing for 10 years. And this lady is going to not only, we're going to set her up in at 5% interest on her money, plus the money is going to go into a 5% a year interest bearing account. What does that mean? Well, it means we're going to give her 5% on her money, and then she's going to be compounding that into an account that grows at 5% a year. I don't know what the numbers work out, but I know just on us alone, over 10 years, we're going to give her a total of $182,000 in interest. And we're okay with that. Why are we okay with that? Because the numbers make sense, and because we don't have to go find $400,000 to pay this lady up front. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody that's listening or watching, which is 0 people right now, but this is what we're doing. So I got some links in the description below. I would like to connect with anybody that is in the Las Vegas area, that is doing group homes, that's in real estate, that wants to put their money to work. The only guarantee that I have for you is that we will make money. How much money? It all depends on the deal. But anyways, I'm signing off. 1, because I'm hungry, and 2, I don't really have anything else to talk about. So, peace. From what seems like the Middle East. It's 115 degrees outside today.